All right, today we're diving into a book that's been challenging conventional medicine for decades, Barbara Ann Brennan's Hands of Light. And it asks a question that might just change how you think about your own health forever. So, right from the get go, this book just throws down a gauntlet. It challenges everything we think we know about being healthy by asking this: what if the real source of our illnesses isn't in our cells or our organs, but in a dimension we can't even see? And you know, what makes this so fascinating is who is asking this question. We're not talking about someone who started out in alternative medicine. Nope, Barbara Brennan was a physicist for NASA, a literal rocket scientist. So when she starts talking about energy and healing, she's coming at it from a totally unique, hard science perspective. Okay, so her big idea? It's that our physical body, that's just the tip of the iceberg. She proposes that we all exist inside this vibrant human energy field. You might have heard it called an aura, and that this field is where our health or our illness actually begins. Now, this is a huge shift in how we see ourselves, right? The old school Newtonian view, it's like we're just machines made of these little ping pong balls bouncing around. But this energy field idea suggests we're more like a dynamic web. We're fluid, we're interconnected, always changing. And that's not just some philosophical mumbo-jumbo. It completely rewrites the rules for how we approach healing. Brandon has this beautiful way of putting it. She says the solid, concrete world we see every day, that's just one layer. Underneath it all, there's this sea of energy. And the implication is huge. If we can learn to see it, maybe we can learn to influence it. So, okay, what exactly is this human energy field, or HEF? The book describes it as an energetic blueprint that guides how our physical body forms. Think of it like this. Before you build a house, you have the architect's plans, right? The HEF is the plan, and our physical body is the house built from that plan. So it makes sense. If there's a problem with the blueprint, it's definitely going to show up in the final building. And here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just some abstract theory. Brennan argues that this energy field can actually be perceived. She calls it high sense perception, or HSP. It's kind of like a sixth sense that lets you see, feel, and even interact with this whole hidden layer of reality. But what does that actually look like in practice, in a real healing session? Well, the book gives us a really powerful example. Let's talk about a case study involving a woman named Muriel and a problem with her thyroid. So Muriel's situation was pretty serious. She had a really enlarged thyroid, and surgery was on the books. But when Brennan used her high sense perception, she saw something totally different. She didn't see cancer, she saw energy blockages. So they did just 2 healing sessions, and get this, Muriel goes back to her doctor, and the enlargement is gone, just gone. They canceled the surgery. And the healing that's described in this book, it goes even deeper than that. There's this advanced technique called etheric template healing. And with this, you're not just working on the energy around an organ, you're working on the original blueprint of the organ itself on a much higher energetic level. It's pretty wild. I mean, look at this illustration from the book. It is absolutely mind-bending. What it's showing is a healer, supposedly with help from spiritual guides, literally taking out a patient's entire lymphatic system on an energetic level, cleaning it up, and then putting it back. Talk about a radical departure from anything you'd hear about in med school. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. How is any of this even remotely possible? Well, to even begin to explain it, the book says we need a whole new model of reality. And what's wild is that it actually has some surprising overlaps with ideas in modern physics. The framework the book puts forward is this idea of a holographic universe. Now stick with me here. In a model like this, time and space aren't these fixed, solid things we think they are. And if that's true, then something like instantaneous healing isn't so impossible. Because the healer and the patient aren't really separate entities. Information doesn't have to travel from point A to point B. It's just everywhere, all at once. Think about what that means. It changes everything. Solid things aren't things anymore. They're fluid events. Linear time just dissolves. Suddenly, we're not just watching reality like a movie, we're actively participating in creating it. In a universe like that, past, present, future, they could all be happening right now. Okay, so holographic universes, energy fields, this is getting pretty out there. What does any of this have to do with you right here, right now? Well, according to the book, it all boils down to one very personal thing: your deepest longing. The book talks about this really powerful concept called a life task. The idea is that you're not here by accident. You came into this world with a specific purpose, a core lesson you're meant to learn, and a unique gift that you and only you can give to the world. And this all leads to what might be the book's most challenging, most direct statement. Ready for it? You are sick because you are not following your deepest longing. Whoa. The argument here is that illness isn't just random bad luck. It's a message, a really profound one, that we've strayed from our true path. So, if that's true, then the path to getting healthy, it isn't just about pills or procedures. It's about having the courage to look inside and face our own blocks. You know, the fears, the old beliefs that keep us stuck, so we can finally clear the way for our true purpose to shine through. So we're going to leave you with the book's final and maybe most important question for you to think about. What's that one thing you've always wanted to do more than anything else? That secret dream you've maybe had since you were a kid? According to Hands of Light, that's not just some silly fantasy. That's your life task calling out to you. And just taking that first tiny step towards it, that could be the most powerful healing you ever do.